The first few years was a learning curve because I started a little bit young. They discourage you. Not only that, when you go for events, they try and disrespect you because they are big mummies, big aunties, they just talk anyhow. And then I had to, with time, when I knew my onions and all of that, I'll put my foot down. I can start your business with £0. Don't cut corners, because if you're cutting corners, you think you're getting away with what the government wants, what the council wants. But if you're doing right by the books, if anything happens, the council has your back. They are better than the 9-to-5 paying jobs.
Hello, thank you for joining me on AySuga Nigeria Lifestyle channel. My name is AySuga. And today I'm not on the road and I'm not doing football business. I'm doing real business, and that's what I'll be talking about today. You want to be successful, and certainly you live in the United Kingdom or Europe or United States of America, but there are one or two things you may gain or you will gain in this particular conversation with one of the top business people in Europe and, of course, in the United Kingdom. So I will be revealing her, and she will introduce herself. She'll tell us how a whole lot of people, Nigerians, Africans who have migrated down to the United Kingdom can, succeed. Most of them back in Nigeria were entrepreneurs and they were doing business, but before the jackpot syndrome or the jackpot thing came up, before jackpot came up, they definitely were doing business. But now they are here now and they are, chasing one job or the other, or shifts or the other, as we call it. So we'll be talking to her and she will be enlightening us using our business as a case study, and to let a lot of people know how to start and how she started and how successful she's gone, all the bureaucracy, all the challenges she's faced, so far. So let's quickly meet Tope Olusoga. She's the CEO of EkoFoods and other businesses she will explain. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Business, that's what we're talking about. Let's first know, about you and how you started EkoFood and other businesses that you have. If you can just really let us know and let us into your whole self as a business person.
So EkoFoods actually started as a restaurant about 13 years ago. Since then, we've evolved and we've majorly focused on events catering, so birthday parties, whatever form of event, celebrations, however big, £1,000 people to just a few people. We've concentrated on events for the last few years, and in recent times, last year to be precise, I decided to open a takeaway shop because I saw that there was a need in Luton area, because we do have restaurants in Luton, but at that time we did not have any takeaway shop. So I wanted a place where people could come, see the food for themselves, choose what they want, and get it on the spot, rather than a restaurant setting where you have to sit down, wait for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and also get your food. So we actually clocked 1 year in March, end of March, last weekend actually. So that's where we are.
I think you've chosen the people over me, because I thought you were going to be talking to me, but that's good. Yeah, because of course you need to connect with the audience, which I understand. By the way, you guys can join us. We have some of the EkoFood specials here. This is ayamashe with ofada rice and beans, and this is a super jollof rice with turkey. So we're having a massive dinner tonight, courtesy of EkoFood. Thank her. So we'll get into it, and because we don't get time to the gist. But now let's and this is a conversation. So it's where you face me now. A lot of people find it very difficult, when it comes to starting business when they are abroad or when they are not back home. They look at it, they don't even want to touch it because they feel there are a whole lot of things that may stop them. They're not eligible, or if they start, where would they get the finance, to finance it, because one reason or the other. But you were brave enough to start. How did you really kickstart? And how can somebody who barely has stayed a year, 2, 3, and who just knows, only thing they know is just business back home, but now abroad, they find it difficult just to go for 9-to-5 shifts and now to live their normal life. They just love business. How did you start, and what can they learn from you?
So the thing is, what I always say to a lot of people, because I've actually mentored so many people in this journey, And one thing I always say is, if there's a conviction, there is a way. If you have that conviction that you want to do a particular business, go for it. Just start. No matter how small, just start. And then don't tell too many people about your plans, because when you tell too many people, it's not just that they're going to sabotage it, but some people might just, one way or the other, directly or indirectly, they might discourage you. And if you want to win in life, you have to try different things. If you've got a conviction to do something, just go for it. You might not get the result you want at it, but consistency, and the willingness and time will surely pay off at the end of the day. So the people who have come in newly in recent years, I know there's been a lot of people who have been cooking from back home, maybe in Africa or wherever, and they've come into the country. Some of them have been scared. Some people have reached out to me in recent years, and all I've just done was just to encourage them. Don't be too quick into going into any business, into this business in particular. Watch the terrain, because the rules and regulations, the terrain is very different from where they've come from. UK is a law of rules and regulations. You must abide by the rules and regulations. So you can't get away with a lot of things. So I would always advise, take your time. You've got the conviction, fair enough. But I would always advise that, people understand the terrain, understand the rules, understand the regulations. When you do this, after a while, then just give your company a business name, get an accountant, get registered, go to your local council. They would advise you what you need to put in place, and just do right by the books and just start. You don't have to have a shop like this. You don't have to have a big events catering business. We started somehow. I'll probably tell you the story of how we started with the events especially. But you just start. With the restaurant, we didn't have an idea, we didn't have any experience, but I had the conviction and we started. And here we are.
And the
today.
first few years, how was it?
Yeah, the first few years was it was a learning curve. But we were lucky, we were blessed that we didn't have to go through the rigors or hard times, but we pulled through. The first few years was good. I can say more about the events because I solely handled the events, unlike when it was a restaurant where it was myself and my husband majorly handled it, but with the events, the first few years was a learning curve because I started a little bit young, and you get people, our people, sometimes the way they talk, when they
discourage you.
Yeah, they discourage you. Not only that, when you go for events, they try and disrespect you because they are big mummies, big aunties, they just talk anyhow. And then I had to, with time, when I knew my onions and all of that, I'll put my foot down and here we are today. So at least I know my onions and I know what I'm talking about. Some
of them would say, in conversations I've had with a lot of people, they believe that if they don't have enough finances, but I understand a bit, having been here for a while, that even if you have a business plan, you can approach banks. They can give you loans depending on your credit score, so to speak, what you've been doing in the country, what you intend to do. And if they see it's viable, if it's something that they believe in, and you give them a proper business plan, you don't need to put a couple of it in it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So if you have a business plan, and I mean a business plan from someone who you would pay to drop a business plan. So not like just a friend or you have to invest.
Proper professionally developed business plan.
Who's used to doing business plans. And you have to have the notion that you're going to follow that business plan. You're not just doing a business plan because you want to get loan. You're doing a business plan because you want to establish a successful business, for a long time. So with that sort of notion, 100%, you have availability to go drop your business plan, approach banks for loans and or credit facilities. Those options are there.
And managing it also, they are going to be involved in the management so that they can trace how you've followed through and through what you actually give them.
So you have to be open. Your books have to be, your accounts have to be 100%. Your books, your systems, the processing, everything has to be 100% because it's not your money. It's not your. It's
Definitely.
Not, it's someone else's money, so you need to be accountable for it. But yeah, those options are there.
And I know, well, a lot of people will still want to say that they don't have, they have some money saved, or they did 1 or 2 businesses back home, or they sold properties. Can they also start with their finances, to set it up? And the fear they have, the fear most of them, or most of us have, is that, are you sure? Because of course, businesses, you start, it may crash, because you didn't do your visibility very well. And there are some that you start, and while going on, you may have some stormy times, and eventually you get that support from banks.
Well, the constant thing in life is change. That person, do they know if they are going to sleep tonight and wake up tomorrow? So if you don't take opportunities, or you don't take the chance when you have it, then it's on you. So even if you have just a small amount of money, just like I said, just start. Don't think because Mr. A started his business with £50,000 or £100,000, you also need that sort of amount. I mean, you can start your business with £0, especially the food business. You can start your business in the house. The council, the government supports you to start from home. The government actually supports you to start small and grow. So don't look at someone else's, picture or what they do to start your own. Just start. You cook in the house for your family. You can cook that same portion and sell to people, and that's how you start.
Now, Nigeria has got a lot of brand. I don't know. I'm tired of waiting. I need to get into this. Nigeria has a lot of food brands. When you talk about food with big names that can sell a restaurant, we've got the jollof rice brand, we've got the amala brand, we've got the which other soup, gusi brand. People want to say yakoyo, people want to say yalamala. Which was the selling brand for you when it comes to Nigerian food and getting Nigerian community to patronize you?
So I think for us, I won't undersell ourselves. So for us, all foods are fantastic. It's EkoFood, something that we pride ourselves in.
Yeah, the
our food is, it's home cooked food. In fact, when we were opening this shop last year, people said to me, people that already know how we cook, they said to me that, why didn't you name it Eko-Buka? There's something about that buka food. There's that like firewood,
like mama puts and all that.
Like mama puts kind of. Do you get what I mean? So people were like, "What? This is."
By the way, this is nice.
Thank you so much. That's what we mean. So people were like, "We know your food, Eko. You guys, your food is authentic, homemade, village tasting food. So why don't you call it buka food?" So I pride myself and say all our foods are fantastic. However, jollof rice. That's
because you have people from different races. They've heard about it, so they want to try it.
Yeah. And really, that's why I'm so happy about the spot where we are in Luton, just behind the mall, in the center of Luton, because we have different races, different cultures, different backgrounds walking in for our food. And it's not just EkoFoods. It's Nigerian food, it's African food, it's Caribbean food. We've got Chinese food that is so popular, we've got Turkish food that is so popular.
Indian food.
Indian food is so popular. I want to make Nigerian food popular as well. I want jollof rice to be known just as Chinese fried rice is known, as naan bread is known. I want our food to be known as well. So yeah, jollof rice, I would say. Our ayamashe, I would say. The list is endless. Egusi, ofadas.
soup.
But I'm more favored towards the jollof rice because that's what I want everybody to know about the jollof rice. Yeah. Yeah.
If you leave Tope to continue, she's going to tell everybody about EkoFood, and she'll talk to you tomorrow morning. That's how she carries the brand, which is good. Okay. Well, we'll soon be wrapping up. Just your encouragement to a lot of people, who are thinking about what you're thinking. What would be, what were you've talked about the challenges, but I don't know how you can encourage them because it's good to also have a lot of people take that bold step.
So, like what I said earlier, if you want to start the food business, Just start. But make sure you do the right thing. Don't cut corners. Because if you're cutting corners, you think, you're getting away with what the government wants, what the council wants. But if you're doing right by the books, if anything happens, the council has your back. Our society or our community, not just our community, but people can be a bit funny. They can come for your business. It could be directly or indirectly. It could be with negative intentions. But once you have a council behind you, this is not a situation like Nigeria where they will say, God, God, God. You have to have a council behind you. Once you've got your books and everything straight, you'll be fine. Don't cut corners. Do it right. And just start.
What are the plans for EkoFood in the next couple of years? I know that you do rentals. I know that you've talked to me, privately about expanding your business and taking it to another level, spread across, the whole of UK and maybe some other parts of Europe.
So, currently we do the takeout eating options. We do party orders, pick up. So you do your coolers, your trays, 4 liter, 2 liters. And whatnot. Within 30 minutes, you get your food for your party. Within 5 minutes, you get your food for takeaway. We do the events already. We have rentals, and our event solution is a one-stop shop. So we do from the servers to the food, to the chefing dishes, to the crockery, plates, cups, cutleries, different colors. We do everything concerning food: cocktails, small chops, weddings, big, small, whatever it is, burials, graduations. We also do hiring of the kitchen as well. So we have cooks that have businesses that work from home. Sometimes they say to us, they've got a large party, we need to rent your industrial kitchen. We have a massive industrial kitchen at the back. So we have all of that as part of our businesses. But for the future, we're looking to expand commercially. So commercially is the key word. We want to be known as a production outfit where we produce good food in bulk, and we distribute in bulk. We've started that with our pet project, Dimples Foods, where we produce foods for shops, freezers in shops already. And that is going well. We sell as low as £6, £7 for a plate of rice with proteins, beans with whatever, with the soups and all of that, with the proteins, so a lot of shops, even outside of Luton, they come and then they we deliver, or they come and they take already. So the plan is for us to be a production outfit and find us in a lot of places. And by the way, saying that, we've only just made our brand an intellectual property. We only just got the approval a week ago, so that's a fantastic news for us, just in time for our first year. So EkoFoods is now a trademarked business. So
cool. Okay, well, definitely congratulations to you. Not easy to take this kind of steps away from home, and you want to also be another big brand like the Anishis of this world, Tasties and all that. So absolutely. And you're holding your own in your own area, and try to ensure that the Nigerianness is well blown out here. And I'm sure Nigerians and Africans are also happy to have you around, to make them feel back at home, like they can eat anything. And you understand, not every day, with due respect to the food we eat here, but it's always going to be difficult to just continue eating what we eat here. Absolutely. So you definitely will say, first on my mind, EkoFood, and you solve my problem to eat whatever I want to eat tonight.
Absolutely.
Well, the conversation continues. We'll still have more time because she also deals in rental. How do you go about your rental business? Because getting Nigerians or a group of Africans connect, because some people may not do that. They could even be an agent to say, okay, EkoFood, I've got a lot of people this. How do you do that? How do you connect and,
So, that's why we keep
because we're not like a community people like the Asians, so to speak. We're still trying to form that community vibe.
Well, we try to continue to put ourselves out as a one-stop shop, so people know us not just as food vendors, but they know us as a vendor that hires crockery as well. you know. So when we go for events and through our adverts as well, people see that we hire a lot of these things, so they know that they come to us for chefing dishes, especially in the summer months when, like from April, May, when it starts to get busy with events, you know, because some people don't need a caterer because they cook within themselves, but most of the time they still need the plates, the chefing dishes, and things like that. So a friend will tell a friend, will tell a friend, will tell a friend. So most of the time, I think it's more of referrals, you know, and which is okay as well, because you don't really want to, rent out too far away or to people that you really cannot trace them, because there is a deposit to pay, but sometimes our people are, you know, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's always going to be like that.
Yeah.
Finally, are there other businesses you do or you think people can do? You know, not everybody wants to do, you know, your kind of business, but are there others you do, or, you know, you can suggest? A lot of people think, okay, if I start cleaning business, if I start, you know, this other business,
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. I was going to mention cleaning business first. You know, people, this is specifically to people who have come in recent years. This kind of areas of trade are kind of belittled back home.
Yes, but here...
But here, this is proper business. You have a cleaning business, you have a plumbing business, carpentry, painting, handwork, hair business. You know, they are better than the 9-to-5 paying jobs, and they give you the flexibility that you need as well.
And the fact that you can also self-sponsor.
You can self-sponsor. You don't need much capital to start. You know, these are easy peasy kind of businesses to start. You know, but I don't know, sometimes people just feel it's not.
A dirty job. You know, that kind of Nigerian
wants
thing.
To wear suits.
Yeah,
everybody still wants to say,
and make people
I'm a lawyer, I'm an accountant. Max after tax. Max after tax. 4,000, 5,000.
Highest.
Yeah,
you ready?
And even to even get to that as a professional, you would have gone through a number of years and
experience and everything.
Industry.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So, but this, you can come in as a plumber. Within a year, you're making thousands a week already. You can come in as a hair maker, as a
hairdresser.
I don't want to say tailor now because
fashion
you get
designer.
Corrected that they're fashion designers.
Coutures.
Yes, yeah, hair couture. You know, you can come in as one of those hand-skilled worker, and you max it. You know, so yeah.
Well, I'm sure this is an eye opener to a whole lot of people who have come in and they are just lost. And they're just frustrated, depressed, and they are in between what to do, you know, and they're tired, you know, and they're not really made out for 9-to-5 shifts and all that.
But I must say something that I forgot to say when you just said they're tired, depressed, and all. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Of course.
It's consistency. You're not going to make it in one day sometimes.
Of course, there are going to be challenges. There are things that will even tell you to shut it down. That's not the path, you know.
There will be discouragements, you know, but you just have to be steadfast. Just keep going.
As far as you understand your dream and where you're headed.
That's it.
You know, you just keep putting in it. And I know that we also have this notion of, well, these are color of the skin. These are, you know, how did you deal with that? Because you're here, you're a sample, you're a specimen for me to, you know, encourage a lot of people, you get. So it's good to, you know, have this kind of conversation instead of just holding back such conversation. Yeah, sorry, we're just attending to a customer. It's good to have such conversation because that is already a mountain in front of, you know, any other person watching this video.
What I would say is confidence. Confidence.
As far as you know your hands are clean and you have a good plan.
And you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Confidence and communication skills, that's it. Those two things, they go hand in hand. You can be confident and your communication skill is a bit, you know, because sometimes maybe the way somebody else or another race might talk to you, you might want to get aggressive. Aggression is not the way all the time. Well, it's not the way at any time, you know, and you might feel intimidated by when a confident person speaks to you or another race speaks to you. You need your confidence. You know, if you know what you're doing, you know what you're saying, confidently go. Don't be intimidated. Don't be challenged. go for it. You are human just like every other person. Nobody has two heads. That's how I see it. Nobody can come for my confidence. It's not that it doesn't get knocked every now and then, but you just have to remember that you're human, and the person talking to you as well is a human as well, and that person doesn't have two heads. So that's it. It's confidence, Godfidence, communication.
Well, thank you very much. This has been an absolute conversation. I never thought it was going to go this way. And you have a lot to really still share, to guide a lot of people, and people can pick from it and really go for it, just like you said. Well, thank you very much for being part of
You're welcome.
my content today. Really do appreciate. And it's been a fantastic conversation with Tope Olusoga, who is the CEO of EkoFood and Dimple's businesses, so to speak, group of businesses. And I've enjoyed my Yamashe. I will pack this one and go house. Nothing will happen. I'll go finish them for house. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell and subscribe to the channel. I'm sure you enjoyed this conversation. And I'll see you. I'll do more of this, to speak a whole lot of Nigerians and Africans here in the UK and out of the UK. What they do, what they can, what you can pick from it, and how you can boldly start yours if you're not into the 9 to 5 kind of thingy and you want to really succeed. Thank you very much. I'll see you in another video. Thank you.
Thank you.